Hello, wrestling fans, and Happy New Year! And welcome to the latest episode of the We Can't Wrestle podcast. The brothers Maxon here with you. I'm Nate. That's Aaron.
Hi, everybody.
And this week we continue our Clash of the Champions series as we head to Clash of the Champions 31, August 6th, 1995, Daytona Beach, Florida, at the Ocean Center. And I hated this show, but we'll get into it. Yeah, I was not a fan of this Clash of the Champions.
Yeah, there's some rough ones, and this is one of them.
And this is I did note just for historical purposes. This is August 6, 95. I did note that during this show they are talking about and hyping up the debut of the upcoming WCW Monday Nitro.
Yes, Nitro is debuting on.
I think it's September 4th, 95.
Well, that's not possible because this is September 4th. Yeah. I don't know.
Because
I actually almost said this was September 6th, but it's August 6th.
Yes.
I misspoke. But yeah, the Nitro's coming up. So we're going to get a good year of a not so good television show. Like people think about Nitro as being like this great thing, and it was, but maybe not a whole year. But when that show first started, it wasn't like you go back and watch it now. It's like it wasn't a very good show.
No, I mean it was significant then because of being up against Raw and
Yeah.
and all that. But yeah, you're right. It's not a very good show. Actually, there's lots of times during the run of the Monday Nitro that it's not a very good show. But
and that's not knocking the wrestlers or whatever. It's more
No.
like Bischoff was a shitty commentator. Like he was bad and I don't think could handle carrying a show like that. And then it was repetitive storytelling and everything was like a fucking DQ finish at the end, and
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
So and that also is going to result in the last few Clash of the Champions that we watch are kind of afterthought shows because they're putting so much focus on Nitro. But here we are, Clash 31, Wayback Machine. Let's get on Wayback Machine first before we get into the Clash.
Everybody should know what that is by now. So it's the two songs, two movies that were on the tops on this day. The two songs are in at number 2, "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal. The most random Batman movie song ever.
And it's the thing is, it's like it's the big hit off of the soundtrack, but the song itself is only featured, I believe, is just the ending credits.
Yeah.
Of Batman Forever.
Yeah, not even in the movie. And then the number 1 song was what's that one thing you just don't go chasing?
Oh, waterfalls.
Yes, you don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go making phony calls.
Yeah, don't go making phony calls.
It's TLC, Waterfalls. Yeah. So, question with Batman Forever. Val Kilmer.
What about him?
Well,
good Batman, bad Batman?
Bad Batman.
He's not the worst Batman.
My opinion of Kilmer is good Batman, bad Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he was too young, or I don't know. He wasn't what I imagined Bruce Wayne to look like.
Like, I like Michael Keaton as both. And then
honestly, Clooney's movie sucked, but he's the closest thing to what you would think Bruce Wayne would be.
Yeah. No, that's what I was going to say. Clooney is good Bruce Wayne, bad Batman.
Well, that's just a bad movie.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie.
Terrible movie. And like I said, Batman Forever isn't great, but it's not bad. It's just kind of there, in my opinion. It was supposedly going to be totally different because when Tim Burton was still attached to it,
Yeah.
like he was
Oh,
going
yeah.
to bring Catwoman back and all this different stuff, and they ended up not bringing him back, and he ended up not wanting to come back because of Batman Returns. I don't know if you know that story. Like
Yep.
before McDonald's and all these other like McDonald's made this big movie franchise, like this big deal for Batman Returns, and we're like targeting it towards kids before they saw it, and then they saw it and they were like, "This is grotesque. Like this is a violent, grotesque movie." And that one's
Yeah.
funny because like Batman's only in it for like 17 minutes or some shit. Like he's not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe more than that, but that movie is more about like Penguin's political career than it is Batman.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Then I assume one of the top movies is going to be Batman Forever here.
it is not.
Yeah. Well, fuck, I'll be damned.
But we can't talk in length about either one of these movies as much as we did Batman, because I've only seen the top movie like twice, and then the second movie I've never seen.
All right.
So the top movie in America at this time was Apollo 13, which it's a good movie. I just not something I would rewatch.
Yes. Agreed. I'm the same way.
I have no desire to rewatch that. After you've seen it twice, you've seen it. And then the number two movie, like I said, I've never seen it, was Casper the Friendly Ghost, like the live action Casper movie. Never seen it.
I have seen it because of my children, but I've never seen it like sitting down with a box of popcorn watching it intentionally. So I've seen it,
Yeah,
peripherally because of having children, but
yeah, never seen it. I don't even know who played Casper. I'm assuming it was like Jonathan Taylor Thomas or Jonathan Brandis,
you would assume so with it being
one of those
1995.
two.
It's definitely a distinct possibility. It's not
What?
Macaulay Culkin. I know that.
It is not. Well, that's not what I wanted. I was gonna see something. I just wanted. Now I'm curious. So I typed in Casper.
Type Casper into the Google machine.
But that's not what I want. Casper movie. Okay. But when I typed in Casper movie, it came up with Casper mattresses. It's like, I don't want a Casper mattress. I want to see who played Casper. Or who at least voiced him. I don't know, I have not. It was some person did his voice. And then Devin Swawa played Casper in his human form. So, okay. That's who played him. The Final Destination guy. So, wasn't either one of my thoughts, but still a little blonde kid. But anyway, and then like I said, the number one was Apollo 13, which is a good movie. So
It's a good movie, but like you said, it's not something where, I mean, I don't own Apollo 13 on Blu-ray and watch it frequently, but
yeah, I was just like,
fine
man,
film.
the movies and the songs are kind of boring this week, but
well,
it gets better next week with the movies at least.
So let's get into this not very good clash of the champions.
Nobody.
We like I said, we're in Daytona Beach, Florida, the Ocean Center, August 6th, 1995, headed toward the debut of Monday Nitro on TNT in just a little under a month. And of course, it's Bobby Heenan and Tony Schiavone on commentary. Excuse me. And our opening match is a tag team match. It is Meng and Kurosawa with Colonel Robert Parker in their corner, of course, against Sting and Road Warrior Hawk.
Who, once we get into the match, I liked Kurosawa. I thought he was cool. Like, it's like I thought the dude would have been a bigger deal. I think he just went back to Japan, but obviously he went back to Japan. I don't know how big of a career he had after that.
Yeah,
But in
he's
the States,
actually Kurosawa is actually that Manabu Nakanishi guy. He was the IWGP champion. So yeah, he did all right in Japan.
I guess he did all right. But like I said, it was like he's kind of like Chono Amuda, where he was like big enough to look not out of place working with like a Sting or a Road Warrior Hawk or something, you know. Even though Hawk wasn't super big at this point, but like height wise and just build wise, he looked like he or didn't look like he was tiny next to Mang or whatever, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's a big dude, big solid worker, and I thought I liked him in WCW.
Yeah, and he played a good role in the company, and like you said, he filled a spot. You know, he filled a spot. He didn't last very long because, like I said, he went back to Japan. I think if I remember ever correctly, let's say the word twice. If I remember correctly, what I've read about him was they kind of actually like they were starting to give him his push in Japan at this point, and they sent him over here to kind of farm him out to see how he'd do in the United States. Because it was part of the WCW New Japan relationship. But yeah, he winds up doing a couple. You know, he does a few Nitro. I think he has a match with Savage on Nitro, and he's around for a little bit.
I liked him. The other thing in this match is I think Hawk was either stoned or drunk.
Probably both,
maybe, because he's terrible here. Terrible. He's not selling. He's not cooperating. He's just, I don't know.
Hawk without Animal around was kind of a train off the tracks. You know what I mean? Like when Animal's not around, he's just like you said. He's kind of just like I think we mentioned it on the last show. When he was on the last show, he just like, I don't know. Without Animal, he's really not all that good.
No, and like you said, he's got this. You can tell he's on something because he's just not performing even adequately. It's just terrible. I'm surprised that Sting even like didn't just take the match and not even let him back in there. But yeah, he was on something because it was rough. Like hard to watch, rough. Like ugh.
Yeah. Everybody else is fine in the match, of course. It's a kind of I don't know. I guess you'd say kind of a not. I mean, there's an angle after the match, but there wasn't much to the match itself. Sting and Road Warrior Hawk get a victory after Hawk hits a really sloppy Doomsday device on Kurosawa for the pin, and then after the matches, they do an angle where Kurosawa injures Hawk's arm.
Yeah, and it's funny because like if you watch, Nick Patrick called for the like help before the actual spot. Like he fucked up.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he threw up the X and asked for help before Hawk was even on the ground, or before Kurosawa even like broke his arm or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how that happened. So everything in this match sucked. Like it was bad. Kurosawa and Sting and Ming weren't like, it wasn't their fault, but Hawk he shit the bed on this one, and it was too much for these three guys to even overcome, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I mean, there wasn't enough Sting versus Meng in this match because I've always said I thought Sting and Meng had a really good chemistry. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Is it before this or after this where they're in the finals of the U.S. title tournament and they have a really good match at like a Great American Bash? I don't remember. I think it's after this, but I always like Sting and Meng when they would hook up in the ring. After this deal, Tony and Bobby hype up WCW Saturday Night coming up, the main event coming up this weekend: Hulk Hogan versus Kamala. Hulk Hogan on one of the B shows. Well, I guess it's not a B show. It's not Nitro isn't happening yet, but Hulk Hogan on the B show. Because at the one point, Nitro has an A show, a B show, a C show, a D show, an E show, and an F show.
Yeah.
There's WCW shows you don't even know existed. Like,
no, there's just WCW shows that are just in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, there's WCW Pro Chicago. And it's stupid.
It's like doing commentary. It's like they've got, it's like Bob Cottle's still around. It's Bob Cottle and some man cow or something. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, he said they're hyping the main event, Hogan, Kamala, and then Mean Gene interviews the stud stable, bucking them.
I always call him bucking them because that's what Colonel Parker always said. He's bucking them. That's what I call this unit. I just call it, that's their faction name to me. It's bucking them. Don't forget, before we go into this interview with bucking them, they also hype that Hulk Hogan is going to enter the Dungeon of Doom tonight.
Oh, yeah. He's going to enter the Dungeon of Doom. And it's stupid. Everything. Well, like, before we get too far into it, I'm going to do a spoiler alert on everybody. This is the first show that we've ever watched, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That we reviewed, where I was like, there was only one good match on this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. This show stinks. That's why I said from the beginning, I do not like this. I did not like this clash. I can tell it. And I can tell I didn't like it because I don't have a lot of notes, and I didn't even like it from a comedic standpoint. Like, I don't even have a lot of jokes. Like, I have next to nothing on this clash. I did not like it.
It was just, there's one good match. Like you said, Mean Gene's interviewing bucking them. Stud stable, underrated faction. I know they're kind of dwindling here because they're not going to be the focal point anymore. But there was a point where they were the focal point of the show, or the company, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at like their lineage and the people that were in it, it was a fucking good faction.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Dick Slater fan, but I don't mind him in this type of situation.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, I don't mind Dick Slater in a tag team. I'm not a Dick Slater as a singles wrestler fan. We've talked about him a lot on the show over the years. That he's just like the poor man's Terry Funk when he's a single star. But I don't mind him in a tag team. Like, I actually thought him and Greg Valentine were a pretty good tag team for the short time they were together too.
Yeah. And I'll always like me some Jimmy Golden, so I ain't got no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to be facing Harlem Heat later on.
And I think the winner, I think this is the one where the winner gets a tag title shot.
Yeah.
I did write down the one thing. Parker did make me laugh in the interview because they're talking about Sherry, and he talks about how he's going to hyperextend Sherry later tonight. Rob Parker and his big dong are coming for sensational Sherry. And he was doing that as an innuendo, out your window.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, innuendo, out your window. He was doing that to make some people laugh.
Yep. I think Gene even did do the, he covers up to his mustache so you can't see him.
Yeah.
The next...
Big dick is what he's got.
He's talking about his big dong.
He's talking about his big old dick.
Colonel Parker's got a big hog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch out, Sherry.
Yeah. Well, the next match sucks.
Yes, it's Diamond Dallas Page, who has recently won $13 million.
Yes.
Versus Alex Wright.
And he's still wearing every gimmick. Like, he was a gimmick on top of a gimmick. It's like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm going to have a sparkly cowboy hat or a sparkly derby, a vest, a stogie, a stick, like a walking cane. Like, he had every gimmick.
leather pants over his tights.
It's like, you have every gimmick. you still suck. And then you have a hot chick with you. It's like, and you're still terrible. He's a good dude. And I think he's funny, and I love what he does for people. But I've always hated that guy as a wrestler. Like I've never been entertained by DDP.
He's just one of those guys for you. I have I don't know. I'm kind of a there's points in his career where I don't mind him, but I would never say I also would never call myself a Diamond Dallas Page fan. Like, I don't know.
I didn't even like him as a manager. But neither here nor there. He's fighting a guy that I do like, and we've talked about it a lot. Alex Wright. I don't have a lot of notes on a lot of these matches either because I didn't like any of it. This might be the shortest We Can't Wrestle podcast ever. The one thing I did have was Alex Wright hits a German suplex. But if Alex Wright hits a German suplex, isn't it just a suplex?
I have a similar note later on down the line at one of the other Clash of the Champions. I didn't notice the German suplex in this one, but it's funny that you made that joke because I have a similar joke in a later episode of one of these clashes. So,
all right, but the match itself it's bland because DDP's bland, and I don't think he can really. Obviously, he can't work the style that Alex Wright works. So Alex Wright has to wrestle down to DDP, and it's a shame, and it's a bad match. And Alex Wright misses a dive to the outside. DDP throws him back inside for the 1, 2, 3. Even the finish is flat. It just sucked.
Yeah, I wrote it down too here that these two had absolutely no chemistry in the ring together. Alex Wright misses a plancha, and DDP gets the win on him over that missed plancha. So,
yeah,
nothing to write home about there.
You at least got to see Kimberly, but other than that,
true.
It's the only thing DDP's ever done good in his life. Just pulling down Kimberly Bacon. It's like, how'd you pull that off, man? But
this is
oh, God, sorry.
This is the next thing, or the next interview we have. I'm trying to think here because we have this interview with Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, who are in this ridiculous situation tonight where they're wrestling Vader in a handicap match. And then they're going to go on to do one of the worst things ever done in wrestling history, which is have Flair and Anderson wrestle each other.
Yes.
I'll get into that in a minute, but I'm trying to think. Vader is in this Dungeon of Doom thing later. He might be. He's probably on some Saturday nights or something. But this is because I was going to say he's gone by Nitro. So I was wondering if maybe this was Vader's last actual appearance on WCW TV. But he might have been on like a Saturday night or something between, because he was supposed to be on Hogan's team at the War Games.
This is at least his last live appearance. He might be on a pre-tape Saturday night, but this is definitely like the last thing he does of any kind of significance. Because he does appear in a couple promos leading into that War Games match, because I remember because they're like on a beach and he like moonsaults and like nothing. Like he does a moonsault into the sand.
Oh yeah, you're right. I do remember that now. Yep.
Because he's going to be on Hogan's team.
They're all in their fucking war paint and shit, looking stupid.
Yeah, which would have been really stupid. Have Vader and Hogan, but on the same team.
Well, at this point, in the grand scheme of things, Hogan's made Vader his bitch anyway. So
yeah, but he's about to get beat up by Paul Orndorff and sent home.
But yeah, it's Flair and Anderson
which led to Bobby Heenan being like, "You ever heard a guy get the shit kicked out of him wearing water shoes?" Oh, he's wearing water shoes. Sounds like old people clapping.
Uh,
You did get that, but yeah.
speaking of the guy that beat up Vader, the next match I wrote down here. I wrote down here. How can you be a wrestler that is so bad that you have a bad match with Paul Orndorff? Renegade is like he doesn't have zero talent. He has like negative talent. So he could get into the ring.
Really, really bad.
I mean, like Renegade is like the one guy I've seen have a bad match with Arn Anderson, have a bad match with Paul Orndorff because he just brings it down so much.
All you got to do is say anybody that Renegade wrestled with, he had that guy's worst match.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a lie.
Renegade was terrible.
He was very bad. Might have been a very nice man. I don't know, but he was not meant to be a pro wrestler.
And then I was trying to think, like, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, we said that Kevin Sullivan was kind of like the Pat Patterson of WCW.
Yeah.
He was just like the one consistent guy and came up with a lot of the significant like stories and shit,
Yeah.
Trying to think what the Paul Orndorff equivalent of WWF was, because he was always back in the like that. Even here, like even when he was still working, he was still office. I was trying to think, was there anybody like that in WWF? But I just couldn't think of anybody.
Not really, because in the WWF you didn't really have like on the road wrestlers in the office too.
Yeah, like the only one I thought of, and he didn't do it very long. I was thinking like maybe Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, Slaughter did. Like Slaughter entered the office after like WrestleMania 8, and he wrestled. It wasn't too much longer because after WrestleMania 8 he has he has a feud with Mountie where Mountie shocks him with that gigantic shock stick.
Yeah.
And then he goes into like that role where he's just like watching matches. I think they were going to move him into the commissioner role earlier than they actually did. And then he disappears. So he went into the office and he did wrestle a little bit, but not very long.
Yeah. I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know, because like him and Kevin Sullivan were like the most consistent, like I think guys in charge, or not so much in charge, but like
Mm-hmm. If you're not talking about the actual executives or an Eric Bischoff or somebody, it's probably Orndorff, Sullivan, and Terry Taylor.
Yeah. So, but this match sucks ass. It's really bad.
It's really bad.
Orndorff tries to jumpstart the match by attacking Renegade quickly, but it backfires, and then we get some Renegade offense that made the Ultimate Warrior look like Dynamite Kid. And then Renegade hits a crossbody and pins Paul Orndorff.
The only good thing about it was they kept it short.
Yep. I remember when Flair talked about wanting Arn Anderson to put him over in 30 seconds, and Flair was like, you're just gonna job Arn out in 30 seconds, and basically talked Bischoff into doing 3 minutes, and the match happened, and it was terrible. And then Bischoff looked at Flair and said, "See, told you we should have done it in 30 seconds." And Ric Flair looked at him and said, "We shouldn't have fucking did it at all.
Should have done it all, yeah.
That was trash." But yeah, that guy, like I said, I know that his life ended horribly, and I'm not saying that it's Eric Bischoff's fault or whoever's fault, but they took a guy that had no discernible talent whatsoever and basically promised this guy the moon, and then when it didn't work out, they just discarded him.
And the worst part about it is ultimately at the beginning, the entire reason they created the Renegade was so that it could appear that Hulk Hogan got his win back from the Ultimate Warrior eventually. That was the plan.
Yeah.
You know, they just one of their big things was they always wanted to make sure Hogan got all of his old wins back. Like they were even considering, even though he was severely unhealthy at the time, they were considering hiring Yokozuna in '97 just so Hogan could beat Yokozuna. You know, like it was like an obsession for him. Like if he lost to somebody, he had to get that win back, and they couldn't get Warrior, so they just plucked this guy out of obscurity to play a Warrior type character.
Yeah,
for Hogan to beat.
And like I said, then they never even got to that point because they just discarded the guy. They just threw him in the trash bin and
teamed him up with Joe Gomez and
yeah. And like I said, I'm not saying that, you know, what happened was directly Eric Bischoff's fault, because the guy obviously had, like, you know, mental issues or whatever. But I think they took a guy that probably had some depression issues and promised him the fucking world and just, like you said, discarded it. And it's like he shouldn't have. It's like Flair said, this guy shouldn't even be here anyway. Like, no, this is bad.
Well, after this match, Mean Gene is in the back talking to Vader about his match coming up with Flair and Anderson. Pretty much Vader's thing is they're underestimating, they're being too cocky, and he feels no pain and he has no fear. Your standard Vader promo.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you. Vader, one of like the most talented dudes ever, right? Especially for a guy his size.
Mm-hmm.
Intimidating motherfucker when he wanted to be.
Yep.
But I don't think Vader was that great of a promo guy.
No, he wasn't a good promo. Well, the best thing to do with Vader is either with sticking with Harley Race, or like Vince did, sticking with Cornette. Let him have somebody speaking for him, and let him throw chairs and shit around behind while his manager's doing a promo. Just make him look, like that's what they did a lot with Cornette. Like Cornette would talk the shit, and Vader would just be behind him making noises and throwing chairs around and shit, and that's very effective. Yes, I agree with you. Not a great promo, Vader.
I wanted to make sure I wasn't in the minority.
I'm not saying you never let him talk, but he should have a mouthpiece doing most of the talking for him.
Yeah, because it was not good.
And it's also, I don't know why, just to mention it, I don't know why. I always think it's funny when you get one of those random promos with Vader and he's in a do-rag. I don't know why it's so funny when Vader's in a do-rag, but it's just funny to me. Like,
I mean, he did grow up in Compton.
This time, baby.
That's the other thing too. Like where he grew up. He grew up in the hood. That's why he talked like, like the way he talked, because that's the environment that he grew up in. Like, so.
I just always think it's great. It's like, we're gonna talk to Big Van Vader, and then they go to him and he's got a do-rag and his mask on.
Yeah. It's kind of like
and he ain't even got a do.
Like, yeah. But it's like when you think about like the first time Yokozuna talked.
Yeah.
Like the first time Vader talked, you were like, what? That's what Vader sounds like?
Yeah.
Like the first promo I remember him cutting promo with was Ricky Steamboat, when he was like, there ain't nothing between me and you but air and opportunity, brother. I'm like, okay.
Brother.
That's Vader.
Yokozuna, British Bulldog, you in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like, oh, so we're just gonna forget that he was Japanese?
And Aaron and I were watching that together. It was like, Yokozuna's gangsta.
Yeah, we're like in real life more than we knew.
Yeah, right, exactly. But
but like, we're just gonna forget that he was Japanese. But then again, I guess technically, when he first arrived, like they used to introduce him
Yeah, they said he was Polynesian. They never said.
Yeah, Polynesian.
They got heavy into the Japan thing after he beat Hogan, though, because they wanted to get Luger over with the Made in America thing. But
yeah, it's like the Usos when they talk about when they're putting him in the Hall of Fame, and they see Unk on the TV, and they're like, he's Japanese. But yeah, um, I don't know why we got talking about Yoko, but because you brought him up, and then okay, that's how we got there. But the next thing is, and I still don't even have a lot of notes on it, but it's the thing I said was like the only good match on the show.
Yep, it's a good match.
Yes, it's the Stud Stable versus the Harlem Heat for a shot at the WCW Tag Team Champions, who I don't even know who they are at this point.
We out
Stars and Stripes. Stars and Stripes, I think.
Is it Stars and Stripes?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, this is a good match, and I mean everything Parker and Sherry is entertaining. So
yeah,
like I love the Robert Parker's Sherry storyline.
Yeah, from like 93 to 95, everything the stable was involved in was like the best shit on the show. I thought.
Yeah.
And oh, good.
I'd say so you say 93 to 95.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right. They're the best thing on the show. The only thing that was probably, and again, it's because it's a high level main event thing, but from 93 to 95, probably the best piece of business, I've said it before, the WCW did was Flair and Vader Starrcade. Wasn't even supposed to happen. But other than that, anything involving Parker and his dudes is the best. Bucking them is the best shit on the show.
It's the most consistent and entertaining thing on the whole show. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like you don't notice it until you look back at it, but it's like, no, these guys were the best.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the Quebecers and Johnny Polo. It's like you don't realize that these guys were carrying the promotion almost.
Yeah, they were. Well, at least Raw, like that there was a period of Raw where the Quebecers were the most consistent talent on that fucking show.
Then, just to clarify, also, I did forgot to mention that it's not just the Stud Stable versus Harlem Heat; it's the Stud Stable versus Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry, because Colonel Parker's involved in the match as well. And it's a good little match. It's fun. As it's going on, Sherry ends up kissing Colonel Robert Parker, who falls backwards as he's being molested by Sherry, and she pins him 1, 2, 3. So the Heat and Sister Sherry win the match and the tag team title shot down the road.
Yes. And Heat's going to be champs by the time Nitro launches, because by the time Nitro launches, Stars and Stripes is not a team. So I think Patriot's gone.
Patriot's gone.
You get a few Nitros in, and we got the American males. So
yeah.
I put my next note here says Mean Gene with Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart cookie cutter promo. So I don't know what Hogan said, but there's probably a bunch of brothers and at least a Jack in there.
Yeah. Same shit, different day.
Then we get an awkward segment. I don't know why I thought it was awkward, but there's a kid from the Muscular Dystrophy Association, Tony Diaz. And he gets to meet the Macho Man Randy Savage. Mean Gene's there.
I thought his name was Tomas.
Oh, you know what? You're right. My handwriting just sucked there.
Tomas.
Yes, it is Tomas. Yes.
Because I was trying to figure out why I put Randy Savage, Tomas, Randy Savage, Tomas, MDA. It's like, what does that mean? Because like you said, usually you watch the shit and then we talk about it. It's been a while since I watched this, and then when you brought it up, I'm like, oh yes, I remember this. That poor child.
it's just like 3 minutes of Mean Gene and Randy Savage trying to get this poor kid to say, "Oh yeah,"
and he won't.
Yeah, it's just everything say, "Oh yeah,"
and he just Tomas is just looking at him. It's like, what are you? Why did you do this?
Like, Savage is like, I said, say, "Oh yeah," I'm gonna rip your head off, man. I'm gonna spit down your throat,
why are you?
Man.
Why are you bullying Tomas?
Poor Tomas.
Yeah, and don't they even say like he's like the spokeschild of the MDA or whatever?
Yes.
And now you just got this. There's a reason John Cena didn't wheel out every kid.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He let it be a private interaction. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not good at it. He's probably confused and nervous.
Like when Raven Simone told those poor children to stand up
and stand up and applaud yourselves. Like they're in wheelchairs. That's so Raven. Every time somebody says something like awkwardly inappropriate like that in my head, I never say it out loud because nobody else would get it, but in my mind I'm like, that's so Raven. Yeah. Get up and stand up and applaud yourselves. Like what? Raven Simone just turned heel.
She made fun of them crippled kids. So my next question is, now that Randy Savage and Gene Okerlund have bullied Tomas. Yes. I know I didn't do it last week. I didn't queue up any video for last week. Do we want to relive this? Do we want to watch the Hulk Hogan entering the Dungeon of Doom segment? Terrible acting.
We can do that.
I have it queued up just in case you wanted to. So
you did skip out. We got Macho Man and Mean Gene bullying Tomas.
Yes.
And then we got the Macho Man hype video.
Oh yeah, I did write down. There's the Macho Man hype video. Yes.
I don't know why, because Pomp and Circumstance is public domain. So why did they have to use that like shitty, like guitar Macho Man music?
I think they just wanted to. Really,
I just think it. I never liked it. I don't know why. It's not terrible or anything. It's basically the same song. I just didn't like the. I don't know. I just thought regular Pomp and Circumstance was better.
That and yeah, regular Pomp and Circumstance and What Up Mach are his best
What Up Mach
musics.
Well, that's when he went crazy.
I just the other day, just for the record, my wife, I don't know how we've been together for 15 years, ladies and gentlemen, 15 years. And I don't know how I have never gotten out and played for my wife any of the Macho Man Randy Savage rap album.
It's fantastic.
And the other day I mentioned Macho. I don't know what we were talking about or what was on the TV or whatever. And I said, yeah, the Macho Man rap album. And she was like, the Macho Man had a rap album?
Yeah, and it was fucking
I was like, let me go upstairs and I'll bring that down here and we'll listen to a track or two.
Wait till you hear Be a Man, Hulk. Don't be scared. And then he's down in the club, popping bubbly. Looking at the ladies looking so lovely. He rhymed bubbly with lovely.
Yeah, because he's the fucking Macho Man. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I love that his last appearance on WCW TV is being in that sparkly hat and that red sparkly hat, like fedora, and that jacket. And he's like, and I'm a pimp.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's his last WCW appearance, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was a crazy time for them. Like he slapped Terry. Tori Wilson on national television. It's like, what is going on with the Macho Man? He just slapped a woman.
I'm a pimp. His girlfriend got to legally own the name Gorgeous George because,
well, he bought it.
Yeah, he bought it. Well, he bought it from, I think, WCW, because WCW bought it because they wanted Lanny Poffo to be Gorgeous George.
No,
so Hulk Hogan...
Randy Savage bought. Like Randy Savage owned Gorgeous George.
Because wasn't that the plan? Weren't they going to make Lanny Poffo Gorgeous George so Hulk Hogan could beat Gorgeous George?
Randy Savage wanted him to be Gorgeous George. Like he gave him the outfit and bought the name for him and like died. Like there's like publicity photos or whatever of Lanny Poffo as Gorgeous George, and then they just never did anything with it. But yeah, Randy bought it for him. But and did you know that the reason they brought Liz in was because they were paying her anyway? Because like when he signed that contract, it was like no matter what, like you're paying. Like she wasn't even with him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, you're paying her and you're paying Lanny. Like people don't think about it. Like,
but that Slim Jim money was worth it.
Yeah, but people knock it and say, "Oh, Lanny Poffo was just getting paid because Randy Savage is his brother." It's like, how about we talk more about how Randy Savage is taking care of his family?
Yeah, I was gonna say you would too. You know what I mean? Like, it's what's Dusty say? Just because I got a big, just because I got a big car now, don't make me bad, Jack.
Make me bad, Jack. Yeah, and it's like, and oh, they paid Lanny Poffo and they didn't even do anything with him. Well, that's dumb on them.
Right.
You know, that's not Lanny Poffo's fault.
He was there.
Lanny Poffo was actually fucking talented. You know? Like that Gorgeous George thing could have been cool. But anyway. He's weird. But
kids need to learn to read.
Yeah. We're talking about Chris Benoit here. Hey, what does that have to do with anything? So that's another reason they keep it.
So now that we went into the I'm glad you clarified. I don't know why I couldn't remember how the story went with the Gorgeous George thing, but as far as ownership and stuff goes, but did we decide we do want to watch Hulk Hogan in the Dungeon of Doom?
You know what? Yeah, it's up to you, man, but I wouldn't mind.
We might as well if we watch that and then talk about the main event. We'll get an hour out of this fucking thing. All right. Here it is, folks. You'll hear the audio. We're going to see the video. Hulk Hogan entering the Dungeon of fucking Doom.
My son, the real white-fingered tiger, the immortal Hogan, tonight earlier.
Just for the record, as silly and shitty as this is, at least we got to see Curtis Iakea do something in the 90s in pro wrestling, because he's a fucking hidden gem in pro wrestling. But anyway.
Yes.
The beast is creeping deeper and deeper into the trap that you have set for him. He fell for the trap, Father, and tonight in the Dungeon of Doom, the slaughter of the immortal Hulk Hogan will prevail. Taskmaster, the path you've laid is perfectly clear. Only a man that was ready for combat would follow it. After what happened with Kamal in the ring, brother, I held your whole army at bay. The Shark, the Zodiac, and Kamala, brother. Bring them all out.
Also, just stopping this while I'm thinking about it, we also have learned, because of this show, I didn't realize this at the time, the Dungeon of Doom is located in Daytona Beach, Florida somewhere.
What?
The Dungeon of Doom, the physical Dungeon of Doom, is apparently located in Daytona Beach, Florida somewhere. Because Hogan goes to the Dungeon of Doom and they're in Daytona Beach, Florida. Right?
Yeah. True. See, you can kind of play it and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Feel the power of Hulkamania right now in the dungeon, brother. As they fall at my feet, you'll feel the power, and then your most powerful possession. Bring him to me. Bring the giant to me. I've fought giants before, and I can't wait to fight your most powerful warrior. Because etched in stone, only Hulkamania will live forever, Taskmaster. You don't understand. I will destroy Hulkamania. Because I am the son of a giant.
Vader.
Yes.
Jimmy Hart and Macho Man and them have found their way, and Sting have found their way to the dungeon.
Run! You can run, but you can't hide. My son!
No, we don't want to.
We're not going to watch it again. I don't know if I've said this in previous weeks since they started doing like the Dungeon of Doom and stuff, but it still would have been bad, but I don't think it would have been as bad if they would have presented it like a funeral parlor or the barber shop.
Like if it would have been a thing, like a segment in the arena, like on a stage.
Yeah. Like here's Kevin Sullivan and his creepy Dungeon of Doom people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that wouldn't have been so bad. But saying it's like a physical location and everything is stupid.
Yes, and I just want to, because I'm going to close out the window here, and I just wanted to mention, I also think it's funny that WWE on their YouTube page, it doesn't even say Dungeon of Doom. It says Hulk Hogan confronts Kevin Sullivan in a cave. I don't know why. In a cave. But yeah, the acting's terrible. We have a young Paul White there as the giant, of course. He is the quote-unquote son of a giant. They don't say he's Andre's son. I think they do sometime, like once in a while, mention it, but they don't. They try. It's like they almost try to avoid saying he's Andre's son. But then they allude to it so much that obviously that's what it's supposed to be. It's like, well, he's not Big John Studd's son.
Well, they weren't allowed to use his name. Andre the Giant is like trademarked or whatever.
Right.
So I'm sure they probably would have had to pay for it. I'm not sure who owns Andre the Giant's name, but
well, I mean, for licensing wise, I think WWE might still own it because they still release merchandise and shit with Andre the Giant. Yeah. So I don't know if his estate or his daughter or whatever, like gets rights out of that or whatever, but I'm pretty sure WWE. I'm pretty sure WWE still has the rights to merchandise it anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I don't think they could technically say that he was Andre the Giant because Bobby doesn't even say it. Bobby just says, "I managed his father. I know his father."
Yeah,
like Bobby doesn't even say that's Andre the Giant's kid.
Well,
Paul White said he hated it too. Like he didn't hate the Giant name and was like really respectful to Hogan for everything he gave him and shit, but he thought it was disrespectful to say that he was Andre the Giant's kid.
He wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Dungeon of Doom segment, silly. Vader comes to Hogan's aid. Like I said, the acting's terrible. Paul White at the end, the Giant screaming that he's the true immortal. And of course, we know that man the giant Paul White is going to get much better at being what he is over the years. Becomes one of the great big man wrestlers of all time. And at this time, he's green as shit, So it wasn't. What are you supposed to expect? Well, then Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan are talking about Fall Brawl and the upcoming Monday Nitro, and they're speculating as to who the other commentator on Nitro is going to be. They still haven't announced that it's going to be Steve McMichael. They're speculating on who that might be.
Yeah. The Dungeon of Doom's also in walking distance.
Yeah. Look, Savage got there, Sting got there, Jimmy Hart got there.
Vader, he's in the next thing.
Yeah. God damn it. So it's really close to the Ocean Center in Daytona Beach, Florida, if anybody ever wants to try to find the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah.
It's right next to the Ocean Center still exists, so it is still there. You can use it as a point of reference.
Sullivan,
my son,
go next door and purchase me a Slurpee.
I was going to say,
oh yes, Master, I will.
I was going to Sullivan, my
Master
son
would like the cherry freeze Slurpee.
Sullivan.
The machine's broken. The machine's broken, sir. No one said life was gonna be easy. I need you to figure it out.
I want the wings and riblets basket from Applebee's, my son. It's right next door. Oh shit!
It's like the Dungeon of Doom's in a strip mall.
It's exactly what I was picturing. It's like next to a BW3 and a fucking nail salon. I like the Caribbean jerk, my son. And I'm not talking about Carlos Colon.
Or Victor Curinos.
Victor Canones.
Yeah. Sullivan, my son, before you go, Kamala has informed me he wants corn nuts. Corn nuts. Those things were awful.
Corn nuts? Yeah. You open up a bag of corn nuts and they're stale the minute you eat them. Like, why did I buy this?
Gross.
Why did I buy this bag of stale nuts for $2?
And the coating of the flavor, it's ugh. There's too much of it. Yeah, corn nuts were fucking gross.
they still make them. Did you know they still make them? Nope.
No,
I literally. It's funny that it is so funny that you said it because I actually saw them at Casey's. They have them at Casey's. I was like, oh, they still make corn nuts.
Yeah, that's fucking gross.
Our main event for this show: Ric Flair and Arn Anderson versus Vader in a handicap match. And for all the workers that are involved, it ain't great. Because nobody wants to be here.
Yeah. Anderson does get a spine buster on Vader, which looked really impressive.
Well, actually, I do have in my notes say Arn Anderson does a lot of heavy lifting in this match.
Yeah, which I don't remember if at all Arn and Vader having a lot of I don't think this had any matches against each other or whatever. I'd have to go back and look it up, but I liked him and what I saw of him and Vader together looked good. There's not a lot of things that Vince Russo says very much that I agree with, But one thing that he did say that I did agree with was handicap matches are stupid because, especially when one guy beats two guys, because one guy, if it was real, wouldn't be able to beat two wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how big the guy is or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
At least two wrestlers like Arn Anderson and Ric Flair. You know? But it's different if it's like Andre the Giant versus like Rusty Brooks and
Israel Mata,
the Duke of Dorchester, or but anyway, in this match, Vader ends up getting the power bomb on Arn for the 1, 2, 3, and then post match, Flair and Anderson get into an argument, which is foreshadowing them going into their feud.
Which, again, I've said it before, I think, when we talked about it on the show, but that's like, I don't know why, and I know that they eventually like realize that they have shit the bed with it, and they turn it into a thing where they swerve Sting or whatever. But whoever's idea it was to ever even break up Arn and Flair for a little bit and have them have a match against each other it's a terrible idea.
It's probably Eric Bischoff's idea. Eric Bischoff or Kevin Sullivan, they were in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kevin was always a guy that all the mishandlings they ever did with Flair, like he was the one guy that was always like, I don't know if you should do that. Like, why are you fucking with Ric Flair? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you wanted to shave his head, Herd? Why you change Mickey Mantle's number? You know, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And then him and Flair were tight, you know? So it was probably Bischoff.
Well, after this debacle, to end the show, Mean Gene brings out Hulk Hogan, Sting, and Randy Savage. They talk about the Dungeon of Doom earlier on, blah, 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 War Games. Vader arrives.
Yeah.
For some reason, he says he's now cool with Hogan, but he still hates Jimmy Hart. I don't know.
Cool with you, but I don't like your little fruit booty miniature.
And then Hulk Hogan says they declare war to head into the worst War Games match ever.
Yeah. It's bad. All of this is bad.
Yep.
This is like Ole Anderson should have shown up and just said, stop it.
The most compelling thing about this entire War Games match is the pictures of Meng with the big hat, with the big mask on.
Yeah, because I think he only appeared with it once.
I don't remember him ever even appearing with it. So
He showed up with the Dungeon of Doom with the big hat. Like, I don't think he ever wore it in the arena. But he showed up with the big mask at the actual Dungeon of Doom because I don't know why I know this shit. But Meng was the face, like they called him the face of fear.
The face of fear, yes.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, there you have it. Step down from last week, even though last week was bad too. The last one was bad. This one was worse. This was not a good show.
It was really bad. Like, it might be the worst clash of all time.
That's definitely possible.
Like, there was one good match.
Yeah.
Everything else was fucking garbage. Like, if I would have paid money to go to the arena to watch this show, I would have left being like, I would have felt ripped off. I was like, this is terrible.
Yep, and it is peak pre-Nitro, like we were talking about last week. Peak pre-Nitro 95 WCW, just garbage. We're gonna start getting a little bit better with the next one because we've come into the Nitro era, so there's starting to be talent introduced that are a big part of that evolving of WCW.
Yes. And this one will be in Las Vegas. And I don't want to forget about it. So I'm going to mention it now, if that's okay. Remember when Jim Ross talked about the first time that Vince McMahon met Brian Pillman? Brian Pillman
at the NAFTA convention
and was acting crazy, and Vince McMahon was like, "I think we need to get him some help." Remember that?
Yeah,
it's this fucking show that we're gonna review. It's that same time because they're in Vegas again for the NAFTA convention. They mentioned it on. Remember how like the last one we did when they were in Vegas, they said they were at the NAFTA convention.
Yeah,
I almost said that was that, and then I realized no, Brian's still there for like another year.
Right.
But they mentioned on this one that we're about to watch that they're in Vegas again for the NAFTA convention, and in my mind it clicked. I'm like, this is when Brian was doing like deep into the loose cannon thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, we always say it's 30 years later. There's no spoilers here, but it makes sense too because this is when he goes outside the ring and pisses Heenan off.
Yeah, but all that happened. Like this was the first time that Brian Pillman and Vince McMahon met, and that crazy shit when he did that, and Jim was like, "He's working you, man. Like if you can fool Vince,
right,
you can fool anybody, you know." So anyway.
Well, that being said, we're going to sign off for this week. That was Clash 31. Next week, we will do Clash 32 as we continue our Clash of the Champions series and some fun stuff coming up in the new year. Of course, here shortly, I'm trying to get my ass organized to start organizing, recording some segments about the Hall of Fame after the new year. And then after we're done with the Clash series, Aaron and I are going to be doing another one of our, I don't know if we said it or not yet, but we're going to do another one of our draft building a roster segment or couple episodes. Last time we did 92. This time we're going to do 95.
Yes.
So I'm pretty excited for that.
Then are we going to do some like shows pay-per-view build thing for it?
Yeah, we can do that too. Okay. I was planning for at least a few episodes worth of doing that. Maybe like we did last time, build to the first pay-per-view you're going to do.
Yeah. And
then, of course, Pod on the Mountain is coming at the last week of this month. The Smoky Mountain Wrestling podcast with me, Aaron, and Chad Austin, replacing Reliving the Extreme, at least for the time being. And yeah, that's that. And we're going to start in 2026. Not that I don't have a lot of stuff here, and not that Aaron doesn't have a lot of stuff here that was on Peacock, and we both have our own libraries of content and stuff. But I think 2026 has inspired us with a lot of the library going off, or all of the library going off Peacock now. So maybe we'll explore outside of WWF, WCW, and ECW and start digging into some other territories and promotions that are out there on YouTube and stuff. So should be another great year. Great year for the WrestleNet Radio Podcast Network. That being said, we're going to sign off. We'll see everybody next week on the We Can't Wrestle podcast, Clash of the Champions 32. Coming at you. Later, dudes.
Later, dude.
Chase. I'm Chevy Chase, and you're not.